In today's video I'm going to show you 3 ways to cook sprouts, and we're going to start by preparing the sprouts because I'm going to cook them all in one go, just blanching them in hot water before we start making the different flavour variations. So let's get into it. So we need to begin by preparing our sprouts. If they're on a stalk like this, just remove them, and then you can trim away some of the root and any of the outer leaves that look a little bit tatty. Once you've done that, place a large pan of salted water over high heat and bring it to a boil. Once it's boiling, place your sprouts in. You might need to do this in batches depending on how many sprouts you are making, and then place a lid on and cook for 4 to 5 minutes. Immediately remove them from the boiling water and place them into a bowl of cold or iced water. You might need to refresh the water now and again just to keep it really cold. But this is what's going to lock in that beautiful green colour and stop the cooking immediately. Right, that is phase 1 now complete. We have our blanched sprouts and now it's time to drain them, and then we are going to add some amazing flavours, and I'll show you the 3 different ways. Drain your sprouts through a colander and we'll move on to making our first recipe. For the first recipe we're going to make buttered leek sprouts with garlic. Begin by taking 1 leek and then cut it through the middle lengthways. This is so we can wash between the leaves and wash out any dirt that might be trapped in there. Once it's washed, slice it up into 1 centimetre slices. Next, take 3 cloves of garlic and peel them, and then we're going to finely slice them. Place a frying pan or skillet over a medium heat and add in half of the butter. I've got 65 grams of butter here, so add in half of that. And once it's melted, add in your leeks followed by a pinch of salt. And slowly cook these in the butter for 5 minutes. And then add in the sliced garlic and cook for a further 5 minutes. Then place in your sprouts and coat them in all of that beautiful butter, leeks and garlic, and heat them through for 4 to 5 minutes until they're piping hot in the middle. Remove from the heat, pile up into a serving dish, and that's your buttered leek sprouts with garlic complete. For the next recipe we're going to make smoky bacon sprouts with red onion and mixed nuts. Begin by taking 8 rashers of bacon and then slice it up into strips. Place that to one side and then take 1 medium or 2 small red onions, top and tail them, cut them in half and then dice them as finely as you can. And then finally take your chosen mixed nuts, I've got pecans and almonds here, and then just roughly chop them. Next, place a large frying pan or skillet over a medium heat and add in 30 grams of butter. Once it's melted, place in your smoky bacon and cook it until the fat starts to render out and the bacon begins to crisp up. As soon as you can see it starting to crisp up, add in your red onions and your mixed nuts. Cook them for 3 to 4 minutes until you can see that the red onion has become soft and translucent. Next, place in your sprouts, coating them in all of that beautiful bacon fat and red onion and nuts, and heat them through for 5 minutes until they're piping hot in the centre. Remove from the heat, pile up in a serving dish, and that's your smoky bacon sprouts with red onion and mixed nuts done. For the final sprout recipe we're making crispy parmesan sprouts with garlic and chilli. And for the final recipe we're going to cook it slightly different, so we need to begin by preheating the oven to 190 degrees Celsius fan, and then turn your attention to the sprouts. And this time we need to start by halving our blanched sprouts. We need to cut them in half and then place them back into a mixing bowl. Drizzle them with 20 millilitres of extra virgin olive oil, a sprinkle of salt, a good grind of black pepper, and then half a teaspoon of red chilli flakes. Mix the sprouts thoroughly until they're fully coated in the oil and seasoning. Place them to one side and grab a large baking tray. Line it with a sheet of parchment paper, and then I've got 80 grams of Parmesan cheese that I'm just going to grate over the whole tray, creating a nice thick layer. But don't use all of the Parmesan, keep a small amount back just to grate over later on. Next, place your sprouts flat side down on a baking tray, creating one even layer, and then grate a small amount of Parmesan over the top. Place them into the preheated oven and cook them for 20 to 25 minutes until you can see the Parmesan is becoming crisp and the sprouts start to char on the outside. Remove them from the oven and then break them up with a couple of spoons just to separate them, because as you can see, all of that Parmesan has gone nice and crispy on the bottom and around the outside. Once they're all separated, place them into a serving dish, and that's your crispy Parmesan sprouts with garlic and chilli complete. And if you like, you can grate over another tiny bit of Parmesan cheese, just in case you didn't think we used enough. So there's 3 different ways you can cook sprouts this Christmas. Let me know which way you would like to try the most, and also let me know how you like to cook your sprouts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.